You are watching Sound Candy Talk live.
Thank you so much, Senator, for being with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start by seeking your view. The leader said in a very recent interview on NTV on Sunday 7.
Yeah, unfortunately, the position of a party on coalitions is given by the party leader. So what he says is the position of a party. And for me, really, as SGO vote until 2027, then you really don't have the time to be able to prepare the party for elections. So, for instance, if we get to 2027 and we decide as a party that
Tunaingia vijijini, mijini na hata jijini kukuletea taarifa mchana kutwa. Usiku tunaketi kitako, tunadadavua tukichanganua taarifa na makala muhimu yanayokuhusu wewe na familia yako. Ungana na Bernard Ngozi kwenye Open Forum Political Show kuanzia saa 4 usiku hadi dakika zake kila siku ya wiki kwenye
You are watching Sound Candy Talk live. You are watching Sound Candy Talk live.
What do you do as a person?
you can just ask me why
You are watching Sound Candy Talk live.
Don't be shy. No, you and me started.
You are watching Sound Candy Talk live.
Who started? First time.
You are watching Sound Candy Talk live.
TV was
You are watching Sound Candy Talk live.
the reason I will not resign yet is because I'm not.
You are watching Sound Candy Talk live. 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 You are watching Sound Candy Talk Live.
Well, we're here now with the first part of our conversation with Edwin Sifuna, Nairobi Senator and Secretary General
You are watching
of the
Sound
Orange
Candy Talk
Democratic
Live.
Movement, to speak on a wide range of issues. Thank you so much, Senator, for being with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start by seeking your views as Secretary General of the party. Your party leader said in a very recent interview on NTV on Sunday that he will support President William Ruto until 2027. Is that a party position?
Yeah, unfortunately, the position of a party on coalitions is given by the party leader. So what he says is the position of a party. And for me, really, as SG of ODM, my worry is that if you stick with the current government until 2027, then you really don't have the time to be able to prepare the party for elections. So for instance, if we get to 2027 and we decide as a party that we also want to contest the presidency, because the stated position of the party is that we will have a presidential candidate in 27, then we have not left ourselves room to be able to prepare for that elections. Preparation for elections do take time. And then the worry would be that we would have lost that opportunity to be able to not only extricate ourselves from this very unpopular regime, but also to be able to explain to the people what we've been doing with Ruto all these years and why we are back to ask for the mandate of the people.
So this is an ODM party position?
That would be the ODM party position, yes.
And that includes you as Secretary General?
Yeah, that includes me. But as I've said publicly, the good thing with ODM is that we are allowed to file objections to the positions that are taken by the party. You are allowed to sound warnings, to sound alarms, and to say that in your view, the way you read the lay of the land, we need to be able to have sufficient time to explain to the people not only what we have been doing with Ruto, but what we intend to do for the country if we are to present a candidate in 2027. My position has always been, and this is a position that we've shared with many in the party, that ODM stands a very good chance to win the elections in 27, and that we have good people in this party who can be able to run the country, and that ODM has always been a force for good, and that we believe that we will do a better job than the current regime. So I don't understand those within our ranks who don't see us as a party as a viable option to the Kenya Kwanza government, who want us to yoke ourselves to KK even beyond 2027, and they've been pronouncing it in public spaces, much to the chagrin of many of us in the ODM party.
So if this is a party position that you don't agree with,
yeah.
In the last few minutes, you've talked about this being an unpopular regime.
Yes.
One in which you're in a working arrangement with.
Absolutely.
You've talked about yoking yourself, with this regime that you term as unpopular.
Yeah.
And as Secretary General of ODM that is in an arrangement with this, and you as Secretary General disagreeing with the party position, what do you then do as a person?
You can just ask me why I won't resign, Yvonne. Don't be shy. You know, you and me started this thing way back. I was telling you before we started, the first time I was on TV was with you. The reason I will not resign yet is because I've not given up yet. I have not given up on members of ODM, because ODM is a mass movement, Yvonne. ODM has a followership, a registered membership of over 5 million people. And when you speak to a majority of those people, there is still belief and trust within the ranks of the party that Baba knows what is right for the people, that he will do the right thing, and that the vast majority of the members of the party believe in themselves and in their ability to pull this train back on its tracks. You will listen to what we in Parliament say, but ODM has a total complement of about 106 elected members of Parliament. Compare that to the 5 million in the grassroots there who have given support to this political party for years. Secondly, many of us, like I personally, speaking as Sifuna, I have known one political leader all my life. I tell the story of how I became interested in politics in 2002. I was at the university. We were the kids who were singing Yote Wezekana Bila Moi. I have not listened to another political leader, including those ones who ran around from Maushago. I have listened to Raila Odinga all these years. And ODM as an institution, Yvonne, has existed for 20 years. It takes a lot of blood and sweat and pain to build an institution the size of ODM and to have that longevity for all that time. You cannot just give up and say, you are going to quit on all that membership. But I want to say here that on the day that I give up, I will tell you, I will say it publicly that I have lost the battle to rescue this party and to bring it back to where it was. And we will have lost collectively as members of ODM because I cannot do this thing on myself or on my own. So the day I give up, I will let the country know that I tried my best, but I lost that battle, and then we will take decisions from there.
Is ODM headed in the right direction with the current arrangement and the current status?
Let's just say that there's a lot of confusion. I have told my party leader that there was a time when it was very easy to be SG of ODM. You would wake me up in the middle of the night and ask me anything, because what we agreed is that you can compromise on tactics, but you can never compromise on your values. There is things that ODM stands for. If you woke me up in the middle of the night and ask me my position on devolution, my position on rights under Article 37, for instance, I would give you an answer straight away. But right now, there is a lot of confusion because I come to these shows and to the media and in those public barazas, and I struggle to explain that we're the same political party. Then you will see a member of ODM who maybe used to hold a premier position, now is a cabinet secretary, say the exact same opposite. It leaves our support very, very confused. And I want to apologize to members of ODM today for all the confusion we as a leadership have caused, because it is very difficult now to discern the position of ODM on major issues. And that is the biggest sadness, because it should be easy. It should be easy. When a member of ODM proposes a bill saying, oh, we want to limit the rights under Article 37. What is ODM without Article 37? What is ODM without street protests? What is ODM? ODM is a movement that has been built on the strength of the people. So you cannot be the ones telling us today that, oh, you are sponsoring a bill to limit the rights under Article 37. We swore to this constitution. And that is where confusion comes in for people like me, because I now can no longer pronounce myself authoritatively on the position of a party when it comes to the rights under Article 37. You know? And that is where the difficulty begins.
So you say it's confused. You yourself cannot articulate the values and the position of the party.
Correct.
As Secretary General.
Because that position is difficult to discern when we don't have a unified position we are all speaking from as members of a party. It is essentially the Wild West now. Everybody is just doing what they want. Somebody will wake up, they are elected on ODM, they say, oh, they are forgotten. They're forgotten that Raila Odinga is still the leader of the party. They're forgotten that ODM still exists to fight for political power. You are already supporting a third party for re-election. Why do we exist as a political party if we are going to shout the slogans of other political parties?
So, Senator, if as Secretary General you feel this strongly about the party
yes.
That you lead in position of Secretary General, in other democracies, Senator, you would resign.
That's what I'm telling you. I have not given up.
I still think there is hope?
I also believe in my own power of persuasion, even within the party, to be able to pull the train back on its tracks. And I've told you, it would be very difficult for me to abandon all those 5 million people who believe that the leadership of the party will do what is right when the time comes. So until we cross that bridge, when we reach that bridge, I am a very forthright and open person. I will let the public know that I have done my best, but I've been unable to convince the party that the path that we have taken is not the right path.
Well, let's speak about that power of persuasion, because structurally, as the Secretary General
yes.
Of a party, that role is a platform of advice and perhaps direction.
Absolutely.
Right? Upwards, downwards.
Absolutely.
Sometimes both ways. Have you lost that power of persuasion in the party when we see the party leader saying something different from you? The party chair says something different. You yourself are expressing shock and dismay at a proposal of a bill by one of your own members. So what kind of advice have you ever provided to the party leader? Let's speak particularly with regards to, this current...
Decisions of ODM are made in a collegiate manner. Like, you will have a meeting, and in that meeting, of course, not everybody will see the things or everything from the same perspective. So I will give my perspective, and majority or more of the people that are present in that room will give a different perspective. That is not to mean that I've lost my power of persuasion, because there are fights that I have won in that political party.
It doesn't seem like you're winning any battles in your party.
Lately, there are not too many.
Right.
Lately, there are not too many. Like, I am on record having advised a party against doing this MOU with UDA.
And they still went ahead.
We still went ahead and entered that MOU. But you see, the beauty is that you're proven right every day. I warned that the problem with doing a formal MOU with UDA is that it didn't matter what the MOU said. The people from UDA, the government, William Ruto, is not interested in the details of the MOU. And that is why he gets upset when I remind him what the MOU said. You know, they wanted a document that they could then go and, run a PR campaign around and say, oh, tumeungana, we are together. That is not what this document says. This document does not establish a coalition agreement between ODM and UDA. But that's the impression they've been creating. They go out there and say, and I had warned that the PR disaster that was going to come from this was going to be something that was going to be very difficult to manage. Unfortunately, the foremost PR officer for the party is the SG. And that is where I'm saying there's difficulty that has come from this. Recently, we had another meeting, and there was a proposal to have a team to review the implementation of this MOU. I have asked respectfully that I be left out of that team, because I have already declared this MOU dead. I have already done so publicly. So there is no point. I'm not a mortician. There's no point of me going to go through a document that I've already declared dead. And the reason I declared this MOU dead is because the initial argument for entering into this MOU was twofold. First of all, it was for the sustenance of life. For the sustenance of life, that we were losing people unnecessarily. That can we all agree that this is not something we need to continue doing? We need to stop killing our people. That was the first argument. The second argument was the sustenance of the democratic state. So Ruto is getting his end of the bargain, because the democratic state is being sustained at least until 2027. But our people are not getting there. They're still being killed. So on the day that Albert Ojwang dies in a police cell, to me, this agreement is dead, because it doesn't matter what else you do, Albert will not be able to enjoy that.
Okay.
You know?
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Have you told this to your party leader?
I have spoken with Baba. I have explained to him my frustrations, the difficulties of having to explain what we are doing with this rogue regime, the confusion that has come upon my mind, because this is not what I was taught. You know, me, I don't know how I can explain. Because I've told you I've only known one leader. I've only known one political party. I know what this party stands for. So every time there is things that are at odds with what I have been taught, have been conditioned to believe, then the confusion becomes too much for me. So I have expressed that.
And what does he say in response?
So there is many private conversations, the details of which that I cannot share. But for you and your viewers, just know that there is nothing that I can say publicly that I have not said privately to my party leader. And I have a lot of respect for him. He's molded me into the person that I am. And even today, he continues to listen to objections. By the way, it's not just Sifuna who objects to some of these things. Feedback comes from across the country, because Baba has possibly the best grassroots network in this country. And they are telling him from Mandera, from Tana River, from the coast, from Northeastern, they're saying this relationship is hurting our political party.
All right. Let me ask you about that relationship for a moment. Holding a key office in ODM, which has been in this working arrangement with the Kenya Kwanza administration, have you ever been contacted by President William Ruto on any issue relating to this broad-based working arrangement?
No. I don't even have William Ruto's number, and he can't call me. Because if I don't have your number, you can't call me.
Let's speak a little bit more about him. At an event in Homa Bay, President Ruto speaking in front of your party leader.
Yeah.
expressed displeasure over your stance on the broad-based politics. And he said, as founding member of ODM, they would get together and sort of find a way to reprimand you. Tell us if anything has come of this threat. Was it effected? We know you're still in office, at least for now, but you know, has
so
something been done?
clearly that meeting has not happened.
Well, but has something been done to give you reason
I have a few things to say. First of all, nobody should threaten me with founder member status, because ODM, as I've told you, is a mass movement. If it was just the leaders, ODM would not exist. I have told you, we are the kids who were singing in the streets those days that gave this mass movement called ODM, because you need the people for you to be able to say that you are a mass movement. In 2005, we voted against the proposed document of the constitution that Kibaki had given us on the instruction of Baba, because we were his kids, you know. So, first, there's no organ of ODM called founders. There's no organ, and he's not a member of the party. We have a disciplinary committee that is headed by Ramadan Abubakar, who happens to be a birthday boy today. So shout out to him. Those are the people who can discipline me as a member of the party, not William Ruto. And Yvonne, it has been the honor of my life to be SG of ODM. I was telling these young students that I met at Chungwa House on Saturday from the universities in Kenya that there is no political platform that is bigger than ODM, and no bigger political platform than SG of ODM. I have been SG of ODM. This is my 8th year. I'm the longest serving SG of ODM. There is a contribution that I've made to the party. I would not feel bad if they gave opportunity to somebody else, because Sifuna now is saying that the party has taken a wrong direction. I will not begrudge anyone. I would actually understand it, you know. So him threatening me there in front of people, and the reason why he was saying all of those things, Yvonne, you can look at the speech that I made on that particular day. What is it that I said that was so offensive? I asked him to stop tear gassing young children, to allow a play by a high school to be performed. That is what warrants the removal of SG of ODM. It is ridiculous. So for me, really, I know the people who put me in this position. And the day they say, Sifuna, we have lost confidence in your ability to be SG of ODM, I will respect that decision. I would remain a loyal member of ODM and serve the people of Nairobi in the capacity of senator. I don't have an issue.
Before we take a break, I want to ask you this, based on the decisions that have been made by your party leader and leading ODM into this arrangement. Do you believe that the values of the party are still the same values that the party leader Raila Odinga holds, even within the present arrangement?
I think if you are in the church choir and suddenly you start spending time with, let's say, women of the night, your values will be compromised. It will start to show.
So are you saying...
It will start to show. That's why...
So let me understand this.
This is the confusion that I am saying.
And let me understand
this. This is the confusion that I am saying.
As Secretary General of the party, are you then saying your party leader, Raila Odinga, no longer professes, holds, or carries the values of ODM? That's
what I'm saying. I'm saying we are living in very confusing times. Let me give you the best.
Is he confused?
Let me give you the best
Because I'm asking you specifically about Raila Odinga.
It is not him. No, I don't think
he still holds the same principles and values.
I think he does.
As ODM.
I think he does. But the association we have with UDA starts to blur the lines. I'll give you the best example. I, as a member of ODM, believe in devolution. And believing in devolution means that, for instance, national government has no business undertaking county projects. This is something, if you woke me up in the middle of the night, that's exactly what I would say. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. When because of this association, we have to join Ruto to launch markets built by the national government, that is the confusion that I'm talking about, that the lines become blurry. But it is out of this association. I personally believe that if this association were to be put to an end, ODM's values are still intact.
If they're blurred, are they still intact?
Yes.
And being blurred by the person who is the party leader.
It is blurred by the association. So you have to appear at these events. For instance, me, I've taken the position that...
But these are very clear things that your own party leader is saying. So
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So who's blurring the lines?
It is because of that proximity. That proximity is what is causing the blurring of the lines.
And
if there is material, that's what I'm saying.
That proximity, Senator?
All of us, because we signed a document as a party, all of us. So immediately there is material separation between our two political parties. You will see clarity.
So you're also blurring the lines as Secretary General.
I have taken opportunity here to even apologize to the members of ODM for the confusion we as a leadership, because I'm in the leadership. I can't run away from that. I am in the leadership. People have reminded me 1,000 times that they saw me at KICC. Yeah. Do you know they were not expecting me to come to KICC? I was wondering why. Why would you not expect me to come to KICC? I have a responsibility under the constitution of a party to make sure that things are done properly. And I'm actually very proud of this document, Yvonne. If you go through the document, these are the values of ODM. The person who is in breach of this MOU is not ODM, because the responsibility, for instance, not to kill Kenyans is not upon ODM. We do not own instruments of violence. So why should
ODM continue to stick in an arrangement?
This is the question that I, as Sifuna, have been asking, because I have said there has been material breach of this agreement, so that we should be released from our responsibilities.
Okay, let's talk just very quickly about that arrangement. There is a section, and many of young Kenyans who feel that ODM as a party rode on the coattails of the protests last year.
Yeah.
That Raila Odinga as party leader took advantage of those protests and went in to make a deal that was personal for ODM, personal for Raila Odinga, to the detriment, and in some cases to the death of those who are out on the streets. So my question to you is, do you take responsibility for the way people feel that ODM really rode on the backs of what was a legitimate protest for the calls for good governance, and rode that for personal benefit, rather than for of the people?
For me, that is the most unfortunate and unfair accusation, because there is timelines, Yvonne. There is timelines. By the time these gentlemen, my former chair, my former deputy party leader, were joining government, the protests were over. And by the way, I want the young people to understand that the same force with which you went to remove the other cabinet secretaries, Wanda is no different from who is it that was left out of cabinet? Give me a name. He's no different. If today you decided that you want to storm State House, Wanda cannot stop you. How? How does he stop you? So what we are saying is this. After the protest of June 24th, there was an impasse. And for me, I remember sitting, we were also very frustrated. We were saying, can this Gen Z finish the job? Can they finish the job? Because the country cannot just stay in limbo.
By finish the job, you mean?
Kick him out. That was the rallying call. They were to kick Ruto out.
And yet,
this is what I'm saying.
And yet, after the protest,
this is what I'm saying, Yvonne.
ODM then goes into a working arrangement.
I understand the criticism, but the accusation that we took advantage of anyone is unfair, because there was a period between the time June 24th of 2024, June 25th, and the time Kina Wandai and the others are joining cabinet. And by the way, Baba has been on record, including on that during that interview that you referred to, that he was against these individual members joining government because we had another idea. I remember on the day before, or was it after, or the day before they were announced, we released a statement saying these people have gone on their own, because the idea was this, Yvonne, and I know you'll not believe me. I can see the way you're looking at me. The idea, but truth is truth. It doesn't change depending on whether you think Sifuna is lying or not. The truth is the truth. The idea at that particular moment in time was to have a conversation with William Ruto to have a transitional mechanism that would restore the country back to the people. That was the original idea. He called these people individually. And by the way, people have never asked themselves, what is the profile of the people who accepted those jobs?
Tell us.
You know them.
No, you
Yvonne, you know them. What is the profile?
These are your own party members.
No, what is their profile? In terms of the time that I've been in public service, what is their profile?
So what are you saying about them?
That's what I'm saying. These people, there was no discussion between ODM and UDA to say, oh, who can you offer us? Who can you offer us? And Baba has said
okay, I want us to go back to that, because you're raising something there. The profile of these people, and let's be clear about who they are. They're not strangers. They are members of your party, and they continue to insist that they're members of ODM. The cabinet secretary in charge of treasury, that's John Mbadi. The cabinet secretary in charge of mining, That's Ali Hassan Joho, the Cabinet Secretary in charge of Energy, Opiyo Wandayi, who you've mentioned, also the Cabinet Secretary in charge of Cooperatives. What are you saying about their profile?
Yeah, what is their profile in terms of public service? People have been members of parliament for multiple terms. People have been cabinet secretaries before, way back when I was still in school. They have done 2 terms as governors. Are you getting what I'm saying?
No, please tell me.
Okay. Just consider the profile of the people who accepted to go there.
So what are you
their
saying?
state of mind.
Are they fit?
Some of them,
or
it's not about being
so
fit.
What are you saying?
In what frame of mind were they? So that they were able to very quickly and freely join this government.
Well, we wouldn't know that, but you seem to know that. So do you want to?
Because the reason why I'm saying this, Yvonne, is because their profiles are public. You know? Their profiles are public. You will find people who have had stellar careers in public service. Many of them were at the tail end, if I can say, of their careers. And an opportunity such as that is a very good opportunity for them to take. So you would have to have discussions with them and just understand the thinking behind accepting those positions. But what I know is that the accusation that ODM took advantage is an unfair accusation. And even as we speak today, nothing stops any person in this country who is tired with this regime from going to kick out the regime that includes Wandayi and company.
Let's take a break on that note. We have much more to discuss with you, Secretary General of the ODM party, including perhaps going into get an understanding of where we are with the implementation of that 10-point agenda that was signed in that broad-based arrangement. You don't call it a broad-based government, right?
Correct.
Okay, we will come and talk a lot more about that when we return. There we are. Taking a break. We're back. We want to update you with more stories and then get back with our conversation with Senator Edwin Sifuna, Secretary General of the ODM party. We'll be right back.
Who is an expert and who is not an expert?
Senator Osotsi, Senator Medhu has something to inform you about what you're debating.
Senator Medhu calls me a cousin, so let me allow him to.
Senator Medhu.
Yeah, this new arrangement is very good. Now, Senator Osotsi can trust that. I just wanted to inform him in the spirit of what he's proposing, that he would want professionals to take, especially roles on profession that they can, they are professionals in. I've just Googled. The chairperson of the ICT authority is called Mary Wambui Mungai, and there is no known educational background of this person. Her profession is just businesswoman.
Thank you for that. Yeah. Thank you for that information. All of us know who she is and her level of experience. That's what and heading a critical institution like.
Is there a relationship between that information and what you were debating? What's your point of order, Senator?
No, he was informing me.
Share accuracy of facts because she has said he said he knows who she is. Madam Speaker, accuracy of facts. Does it mean that Kenyans who are not experts in, for example, legislative agenda like him is a forester? Should he be here? Mr. Speaker, like I'm not saying his name, but I'm saying we need to protect, and this habit of Senator Metu, like his party leader Wamunyoro, he wants to profile the community. Does it mean Mary Wambui, who is an established, but I'm saying a renowned business, this is a person who is an entrepreneur from the scratch.
Let him finish.
Yes,
Senator
but I'm
Metu,
saying Mary Wambui is one of the trailblazers in women who have built an enterprise from scratch. Unlike some individuals who are here, they have never built even a Changa kiosk. Madam Speaker, you need to protect this issue of profiling communities, and individuals must stop. Mr. Speaker, and that is why I'm saying it is mentioning because she is a Kikuyu. And we know where he is headed, Madam Speaker.
Senator Cherargei, so Senator Cherargei, what's your point of order?
The point of order is under Article 10 of the Constitution. Mm-hmm. Every Kenyan has a right to sit in, and that is why if today, Madam Speaker, for example,
you must,
if we were, Madam Speaker, let me just conclude
Senator Cherargei,
so that you can rule.
Senator Sifuna, let me finish with Senator Cherargei. Can you give an indication of which standing order you are using?
Madam Speaker, I'm using Standing Order 105 and Article 10 of the Constitution. One of the reasons is even regional balance.
What is the point of order?
The point, Madam Speaker,
Senator
the point,
Medhu,
Madam Speaker, is Kenyans are watching, is perception that Kenyans who are not come from particular expertise should not be leading there. Like I'm using an example in the Senate. He is a forester. If we wanted to go for people who know legislative drafting, he should not be here. Then why profile individuals, Madam Speaker?
Okay, Senator Cherargei, resume your seat. Senator Medhu, have you understood the point of order? Senator Sifuna, resume your seat, Senator Medhu. Let's first hear Senator. I will deal with it. Let me hear the standing order, the point of order being raised by Senator Sifuna. Give him the mic.
Go to this. Okay. Madam Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 121, 1B. Senator Cherargei is in the habit of raising knowingly false points of order and using that opportunity to introduce debate that had nothing to do with what was being said on the floor. I don't remember Senator Osotsi mentioning the name of any tribe, neither did Senator Medhu. Honorable Speaker, Osotsi was speaking about getting people who are fit for purpose and competence. We have lost the culture of meritocracy in this country. How can you be a dairy farmer and you want to head an ICT farm? So you just wait for somebody who has expertise, and when we have a vacancy in the Kenya Dairy Board, we will call you. There is nothing wrong with that, Honorable Speaker. But this thing of Senator Cherargei repeatedly rising on false points of order, I want to beseech the seat of the Speaker to punish this gentleman for once, Honorable Speaker. This is too much. It is too much.
Senator,
and Honorable Speaker, can I finish, Honorable Speaker?
Yes, but I need to guide you. Refer to the conduct of Senator Cherargei during these proceedings.
That's what I'm doing.
So that it confines me to give direction within what has been done now. Because if you refer to previous sessions, we do not have the record there. So refer to what he has done now, so we can confine our directions to what he has done within this session.
Honorable Speaker, the Hansard exists for a purpose. It is possible for us to establish conduct that is established, that it is repeated conduct. Today is just one of those opportunities that have actually been given to address a question of frivolous and false points of order. But Senator Cherargei has abused this, and the speakership should note that there are some people here now, Honorable Speaker, who should not be allowed to rise on points of order. It cannot be that you are the only person who knows when other people are out of order. Can you allow Senator Esio Kenyuru to also rise on a point of order for a change? Because it can't just be Cherargei, and we are getting sick and tired of this rubbish from Senator Cherargei.
Senator Sifuna, rubbish is not, the reference to the word rubbish is not parliamentary language. Can you withdraw the reference of that word rubbish? Then I deal with the direction that needs.
Honorable Speaker,
withdraw that.
Deal with the infractions in the order in which they came.
First,
deal with him, then you can deal with me.
Withdraw that, and then I deal with Cherargei on that issue.
Speaker, I withdraw.
Thank you. Senator Cherargei, you know, I will give you a chance, but Senator Medhu, you will now maintain silence. I deal with that issue before I come to you. I've given the direction on it. Senator Cherargei, you were asking for a point of order. Your point of order, first of all, was not clear, because you were not clear what you were seeking from Senator Medhu. And while I'm on that point of order, the information that was offered by Senator Medhu to Senator Osotsi had no relation to the Technopolis. You introduced a different organization and cited the chair of a different. He talked about Technopolis and qualifications of people who should serve in that Technopolis, the chair of the authority. Senator Osoti, can you clarify whether you mentioned CA? He's here. Can you let him clarify for me whether he did? Senator Osoti, did you mention CA or ICT?
Madam Speaker, I mentioned Communication Authority.
Okay, then that was in order for the point of information to be served. So, Senator Cheradigai, regarding your seeking points of orders on several occasions, it is true that you do seek for many points of order, but I would refer to the one that is with respect to these proceedings. And sometimes the points of orders you seek are unusually more than the rest of the senators. That is a point that can be clarified from the Hansard. Don't use unparliamentary language. You are only implored, Senator Cherargei, to be more reasonable when you are seeking the point of order. For instance, now the senator is raising his hand when I'm the one who is addressing and giving direction on your point of order. So, Senator Cherargei, I think it is good you be reasonable in your attempts to seek